Hey YouTubers, X Factor here. L85 gameplay with the foregrip heavy barrel red dot over on the Pure Battlefield server, playing some Epicenter Conquest, which basically means circle jerk. That's what this entire map is: stopping lanes, stopping pushes, then counter pushing. And then of course, this is a wonderful place to go to off the break from the US side. If you're on the Russian side, guess what? You gotta look for somebody here. If you're suppressed, if you're taking fire, just cover up, just hide, but you gotta watch your left flank. You're always gonna have teammates on the right, but that high left side that I just looked at, that's the problematic side. So if you're playing on the Russian side, push that far right flank or my left-hand shoulder, and you'll get an easy 4 or 5 kills. This guy's almost got the idea, but go deeper and go around. Today I want to talk about the Deathadder 2013, the actual mouse I'm using. And I was hesitant to post a review a couple weeks ago. I did a video a while ago talking about how I was having a hard time adjusting, but I didn't quite review the Deathadder 2013. Now, what'd you used to use? I used to use the Deathadder 3.5G. I decided to upgrade because of 2 main reasons: better sensor, and there's some sweet-ass rubber grips on the side of the Deathadder 2013. My hands would sometimes get clammy, and then you just wouldn't have a firm grip on the mouse, and that's the most annoying thing in the world, because I grip the mouse with my entire hand. When you can't have that responsive grip and it feels like there might be a little bit of slippage, that's annoying. Just utterly annoying. So that's the first thing I liked about the 2013 was those rubber grips, and in hindsight they work very well. But I had some big problems, as do a lot of the people, with the Deathadder 2013. Seems like there's 2 major issues. One, there's a firmware update. Why is that? Well, something in the mouse software was broken, the built-in software to the mouse, where you would randomly get these crazy spins. So you'd be looking at your screen, then all of a sudden, randomly, periodically, every 5 minutes, every 20 minutes, every 15 minutes, it was that random, wasn't every second, your screen would look straight down. It's like you just jerked your mouse or controller straight down and you're looking at the floor, admiring the shine on your pretty boots. Not good for any type of gaming, let alone FPS, when the goal of the game is to be heads up with that person, shooting them in the face before they shoot you in the face. So that was a big problem. So my first mouse that I received from Razer was DOA. Not good. Didn't even work. No lights. Did the hard reset. Got on there with the service team, the tech team. No good. The second mouse I received, I needed to go through the firmware update because that's when I got the spinning. Guess what? Firmware update killed the mouse. So I had 2 extremely fancy, 2 expensive paperweights sitting next to my desk. A little infuriated at that point. Some of you may have seen some of the tweets back and forth to Razer, and it wasn't too happy. I'm a lifelong Razer user. I have used the Microsoft Series products. I have used a Zowie mouse. I have used other companies, but for some reason, the ergonomic feel for the Razer mouse, and I have a medium to medium-large size hand, is a great combination. So that was also a third equation to buying that Deathadder 2013, not just for the cool grips, the updated sensor, but the shape and the feel of it. So when I get this Deathadder 2013, I notice there's a problem. My sensitivity was set the same in-game, didn't change that, matched my DPI at 1800. Even though this mouse can go higher, if I were to change my DPI, I would drastically have to change my in-game sensitivity to match. So everything matched up, apples to apples, but I was over-aiming and under-aiming left and right, and I did a video on that a couple weeks ago when I first got this 2013 to actually work, and it was a struggle, but then it finally clicked. What's the weight of the 2013? It's a lot lighter. It is noticeably lighter. If you're a gamer, and all of you watching this video, 99% of you are, if I gave you a different weighted mouse, I guarantee you, you would feel the difference. In an FPS game, and most games, that precision clicking matters, right? If you're playing solitaire or Minesweeper, it might not hurt you too bad. But if you're playing an FPS, it kind of sucks. So what did I do? I went out and got a SteelSeries Black Matte QCK. So I need something with more friction. I play on plastic and I played on aluminum, and the friction was too little. So I counteracted that with going with a higher friction pad, and man, am I happy. The Deathadder 2013 has been a pleasant surprise. There are major major quality control issues and concerns, and you can see that on various forums. And if you start Googling this, I'm stuck doing the crab walk now because I just messed up my quick switch. Quick switching is when you try to revive with your main gun out instead of your S-Tac, Magnum, or whatever else you have in your hand at the time. It's beneficial 99.9% of the time, except when that happens. And the key to that is, if you take damage, you can move again. But the key is to not get shot in the face like I just did. So try to bait somebody into a single bullet, maybe lead your shoulder out there, and go about your way. That's the downside to quick switching. So in this gameplay that you maybe have noticed, when I'm trying to push to flags, trying to stop pushing to flags, it's this ebb and flow of stopping the circle jerk in Epicenter. If you can cut off a lane, you'll stop the back door, and hopefully your team can work on the front door and cap another flag. This round ended up being extremely close over on the Pure Battlefield server, and I think we only won by 26. Another word of advice, if your team is down, go get more flags than they have. You need to establish that burn. On Epicenter, you need 3 flags at pretty much all times, or 2 flags, contesting a third flag, or getting back a third flag. So many teams get shoehorned into corners on this map. It's insane. And it's only because they stop pushing, they stagnate, they clump up, and they allow themselves to get cornered. So with all that being said, do I recommend the 2013 Deathadder? Yes, if you've got the 3.5G, if you want a little bit more control with your sensor, some options, the rubber sides, the same ergonomic feel, it's a great mouse. The customer service is pretty good. The ability to return the mouse directly to the company you bought it from, or Razer, for them to send you a new one within 30 days is pretty good. And what do I mean by that? If your mouse dies outside of that 30-day window, it goes to Razer. Within the 30-day, just go back to the internet site or store that you bought, instant exchange. So that's nice. So after all the headache, I do like this mouse. Do I wish it had better reliability and I didn't have to go through a couple of them? Absolutely. But such is the life in the manufactured world. If Razer can increase the reliability with their products, I would give it a 10 of 10. Unfortunately, due to the reliability of the product, I'm only going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. But now that I've got one working, knock on wood, I'm really happy with the way this performs and feels. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget about the old thumbs up, and there will be a link down below where you can purchase the Deathadder 2013. See you, YouTube.